Well, the Vice President has been mocked online yet again, but this time it's for her dancing. Kamala Harris copped a brutal review of her dancing while she busted out some moves at a White House party. The Veep hosted the party, which was in celebration of the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. Naturally, she wore some bright coloured clothing to mark the occasion and clearly had a lot of fun. This video of her has been viewed more than 17 million times on X, formerly known as Twitter. But as always, the Vice President copped a rinsing online over her moves. One person wrote, "You busy partying and my student loans are still chasing me down." Another, "Cacklebox at her finest." As Hawaii burns and California and Florida recover from floods, is Kamala Harris having fun dancing at a hip-hop house party? Another wrote. Someone else said, "If only she understood politics like she understands dancing." She looks like Elaine on Seinfeld, the dancing episode, someone else wrote. Kamala Harris dancing is so corny to me, I don't know what it is. While one online user asked her followers to use one word to describe the dancing, a few people simply wrote cringe. One wrote frightening, another wrote awful. However, fans of the Veep were quick to praise Kamala Harris for having a good time. One person wrote, "It made me so happy to see her dancing and having a good time. She deserves that much." Now, as we head into the campaign season for the 2024 presidential election, VP Harris's role in the Biden administration has been criticised heavily. That's because there are fears that Joe Biden wouldn't last 4 more years in office, which would prompt the government to have to enact the 25th Amendment, which would automatically make Kamala Harris the president. This has led to Republican presidential hopeful Nikki Haley to continuously mention in media interviews that a vote for Joe Biden is actually a vote for Kamala Harris.
We all know Joe Biden thinks that he's going to run and win this election, and then he's going to hand it off to a President Kamala Harris, which should scare all of us. But look at the ASEAN summit that you're talking about, Jesse. That's a group of 10 countries. And this is a very important, timely summit because you've got the Chinese military really trying to push through in the South China Sea. Do you honestly think Kamala Harris is going to go do that? I mean, I'm surprised she quit the border job. I never even knew she took it.
Outsiders host James Morrow didn't hold back on his thoughts on Kamala Harris and her boss, President Joe Biden.
Okay, so she's a dope. We all acknowledge this. But if anything is certain, if history, especially the last 3 years, have taught us anything, it is that you can stand up an absolute idiot for president and rack up a whole ton of votes and get that person, him or her, over the line.
Watch me. If you think I don't have the energy level or the mental acuity. The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway. From Charlotte, another line going from in Florida down to Tampa. Of Putin's kleptocracy, yeah.
Yeah. Let's not forget that Joe Biden was, like Kamala Harris, considered a completely unelectable dud when he went into the 2020 primaries. He had already run 3 failed presidential campaigns at that time, but this time, 2020, was different. Why? Because they realized that he was a good frontman for the Democrats, and this is how it works. To be also a frontman for Barack Obama, who quite correctly assumed that Biden could be a prop by which he could keep his hand in Washington. That's why the Washington blob, the swamp, the elites rallied around him, media and bureaucracy and intelligence agencies combined. Not because they thought Joe Biden was brilliant or an original thinker. No, because for the blob, that's the last thing they want. Because they wanted him to be there as someone they could control. Which, mark my words, has set up the playbook for Kamala Harris or her backers as Joe Biden's mental and moral failings pile up and become ever more apparent.